Good morning, all of you. I'm sorry for the inconvenience being caused to you. Most probably within a couple of minutes, the session is going to be started. We are waiting for the remaining participants to join the YouTube live streaming. I request the participants to ask your colleagues if they couldn't join the session through Zoom meeting, ask them to join through YouTube live streaming. Stop it. Stop it. YouTube. Yeah, welcome all the participants. Respected principal. Welcome the participants. Sorry for the inconvenience being caused to you people. Respected principal, Mr. K. Venugopal sir, academic in charge Dr. Sudharani, resource persons, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's session of FDP. I'm Batool, assistant professor and the convener of the International Faculty Development Program from the Department of English, Bharat Institute of Engineering and Technology. It gives me an immense pleasure to extend to you a very warm welcome on behalf of Bharat Institute of Engineering and Technology. The objective of this FDP is to develop pedagogical knowledge and skills to effectively integrate technology in ELT instructions, to give expertise in designing and delivering blended learning experiences that combine face-to-face instruction with online components, and also to learn how to design and implement digital assessment and provide timely feedback using technological tools. I would like to request Dr. K. Venugopal sir, the principal of BIT, to give the welcome address. Over to you, sir. Higher education remains dynamic, ever changing. If one tries to improve by embracing innovation, he or she never fails in it. I would like to request a person who has spent 32 years in the teaching field and left no stone unturned in building the career of students. She is none other than Dr. Sudharani, academic in charge of humanities and sciences from Bharat Institute of Engineering and Technology. So I request Dr. Sudharani to speak a few words on this occasion. Over to you. Thank you.
A very good morning to one and all. On behalf of Bharat Institution of Engineering and Technology, Department of Humanities and Sciences, I warmly welcome you all to the one-week International Faculty Development Program on adapting English language teaching to the fourth industrial revolution. We all realize the importance of blended learning, especially during the pandemic and also the post-pandemic. The faculty members trying. Good morning, one and all. Am I audible?
Sudha ma'am, we are unable to hear you.
Okay, but it is showing. Good morning. Am I audible? Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
I'm sorry, ma'am, we are unable to hear you. I would like to request our principal, Dr. Venugopal, to please speak a few words in the
go
meantime.
ahead. Yes, go ahead. I'll try to join by YouTube.
Hello, are you able to hear, madam? Hello. Are you able to hear? Are you able to hear? Am I audible?
Hello, sir. You're not audible here, sir.
I am audible, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am? Good morning.
मुझे नहीं आ रहा हूँ.
Audible. Okay. So thank you for giving. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to address on this important topic of English language teaching for fourth industrial revolution. So the first, as you all know, that first industrial revolution is in 17th century. So second, during which electricity and new forms of power led to increase in production in late 19th century. So modern communication and early computers played a major role in third industrial revolution. In the fourth industrial revolution, new technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, Internet of Things, quantum computing, disrupting almost every industry in the country, evolving at exponential rate than linear pace. English language speech assistant is being developed in 2016, which helps language learners. There are many AI applications in learning in English language. So English language teachers should update themselves to teach students for the fourth industrial revolution. So teaching English specific purpose for specific purposes like business English, engineering English has attained importance in coming days of fourth industrial revolution. In the fourth industrial revolution, entire globe is interconnected. Now we will be saying that the entire globe is interconnected and work is outsourced to the workers wherever they are situated. So this communication now plays a very important role for engineers, especially technologists who are dealing with the clients in other countries, like in medical subscription, tourism, weather, etc. So language is changing. So English is the lingua franca now, and so there is a new vocabulary. Now it is a direct, precise, and to the point. So earlier we used to have language which we used to have some discretion in its usage. Now we will have the direct communication with the precise and direct objectivity. So creativity also should not be lost, but we should also keep in view the importance of structured language to communicate in the fourth industrial revolution. So let me say that in this process of teaching structured English, let us not sacrifice the creativity. Creativity also has a role to play in English language, but for business and engineering purposes, it is necessary to have a structured language for which our teachers have to be equipped to train the students in structured language, and also to caution them that they have to use the creativity also in using the language, like in writing poetry, but in coding and in communicating technology and in communicating to the clients, they have to use the structured language. So they have to develop the skills of structured language, and also to keep creativity in mind while teaching the English language. So I am glad that I was associated with this online program as a guest, as a principal of BIET. So I thank the madam for giving me this opportunity. Over to madam. Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam. So I am handing over the mic to you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, speak up on mute. Higher education today is done. Not. Sorry. If one tries to improve by embracing the innovation, he or she never fails in it. I would like to request the person who has spent 32 years in the teaching field and left no stone unturned in building the career of students. She is none other than Dr. Sudharani, academic in charge of humanities and sciences from Bharat Institute of Engineering and Technology. So I request Dr. Sudharani to speak a few words on this occasion. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am.
Good morning, one and all. Am I audible? Are you able to hear me? Good morning, one and all. Thank you for that. On behalf of Bharat Institution of Engineering and Technology, I warmly welcome you all to 1 week International Faculty Development Program on adapting English language teaching to the fourth industrial revolution. We all realize the importance of blended learning during the pandemic and also now the post-pandemic. As a faculty members and instructors, we are facing unprecedented change with often larger classes, more digitally savvy students. To handle change of this nature, faculty members need to be digitally equipped along with their content knowledge and skills. So the seminar aims to have the same goal. That is, the aim of this FDP is to gain experiences that combine face-to-face instruction with online teaching. To learn to design and implement digital assessments and provide timely faculty feedback using technological tools. Okay, I'm sure that you will have a fruitful interactions and enriching experiences throughout the seminar. I wish you all the success and I thank everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Our today's speaker started her teaching career as research at BITS Pilani, Hyderabad, and with the institution for 5 years. Right now, she is working with MLR Institute of Engineering and Technology, Hyderabad, in the position of assistant professor. She was awarded for the best paper award by Jamia Millia Islamia University, New Delhi, in the month of October 2020. She got 5 of her papers published in different national and international journals approved by UGC and presented 18 papers at various national and international seminars. Her dissertation examines the aesthetic of human, post-human and disabled bodies, post-humanist literature, hyper-narrative interactive films, and interactive story applications. So I'd like to call upon our today's speaker, Ms. Jaya Sarkar, who is going to shed light on how online learning and virtual classroom play a crucial role in English language teaching by providing numerous benefits and opportunities both for the educators as well as learners. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. I'm going to share my screen. So just let me know if my screen is visible. Okay, I think you have to give me permission to share my PPT.
Permission has been given, ma'am.
Yes, okay. Just let me know when the PPT is visible.
Ma'am, you're audible.
Yes, okay. So I'm sharing the PPT. Let me know when it's visible. Is it visible now?
Ma'am, we are unable to see your screen as of yet.
Now it has come. Yes, hi. Hello, am I audible now? Hello.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay, okay. So yeah, like the host is constantly muting me, so just let me know when I'm not audible. Okay. So I'm just going to start. Should I start now?
Yes, please start.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity for inviting me to be a speaker. So as principal sir and Ms. Our convener has already introduced, the topic is adopting ELT to the fourth industrial revolution. So I will be particularly looking on online virtual classrooms and online learning. So the presentation, I have divided it into different these following topics. First, we will look at like what is online learning, how it had been impacted by the pandemic, what are its implications, the resources that we are using now, and then the second main thread that is for today's presentation is virtual classrooms. So what are virtual classrooms? The methodology that we use in online learning, active learning methodology, online assessments, assessment methods, tackling problems, and what are the different opportunities that online learning give us. So to begin with, offered by some of the world's top ranked institutions, online learning offers us all the perks of attending a dream university with the added convenience of a learning experience tailored to our schedule. With courses available in almost every subject and flexible timetables to suit almost every lifestyle, students are increasingly turning to online learning as a viable alternative to on campus study. It could allow us to study abroad remotely at a university which is not in our home country. Advances in technology now allow students to study entirely online while still socializing with classmates, watching lectures, and participating in subject specific discussions. While some consider online learning to require a greater degree of self motivation, institutions recognize that educational support is just as important as tutor feedback and take great care to ensure that their students receive the same levels of support that they would receive on campus. Different terminologies have been used for online learning, a fact that makes it difficult to develop a generic definition. Terms that are commonly used include e-learning, internet learning, distributed learning, network learning, tele-learning, virtual learning, computer-assisted learning, web-based learning, and distance learning. All of these terms imply that the learner is at a distance from the tutor or instructor, that the learner uses some form of technology to access the learning materials, that the learner uses technology to interact with the instructor and other learners, and that some form of support is provided to learners. So my presentation will you throughout. There are many definitions of online learning in literature, definitions that reflect the diversity of practice and associated technologies. So Carliner defines that online learning as educational material that is presented on a computer. On the other hand, scholars defines online instruction as an innovative approach for delivering instruction to a remote audience using the web as the medium. However, online learning involves more than just the presentation and delivery of the materials using the web. The learner and the learning process should be the focus of online learning. As a result, the online learning is defined as the use of internet to access learning materials, to interact with the content, instructor, and other learners, and to obtain support during the learning process in order to acquire knowledge, to construct personal meaning, and to grow from the learning experience. Effective online education consists of online teaching and learning, boosting of several research works, principles, prototypes, theories, ethics, and appraisal of benchmark concentrations on quality online course design, teaching, and learning, since it has been confirmed that effective online learning is a byproduct of cautious design and planning of instruction with the application of organized model for designing and development of instruction. The absence of the cautious design and development process in the migration during the pandemic gave birth to the rejection of the contemporary online education experience during the lockdown as effective online education, but rather as emergency remote teaching. The good to have narrative changed as a result of the global closure of schools as part of measures to maintain social distancing in order to curb rapid transmission of COVID-19. Schools switched instructional platforms, and this migration came with several logistical challenges. And one major issue is that the migration has caused compulsory modification in the attitudes of education administrators, instructors. Some colleges and institutions ran distance education programs prior to the emergence of COVID-19 pandemic, and this actually assisted some of the higher citadels of learning in their migration process. After the announcement of physical closure of schools and colleges by the governments during March 2020, as a means of curtailing the global and community rapid spread of the pandemic, the only option available for universities and colleges to adopt was online learning. Universities across the globe engaged in digital transformation process in order to live up to their objectives. The transformation process was smooth for some institutions, while some responded with crisis response migration process due to the pandemic. The crisis response migration methods employed by some universities can be classified into two parts, namely external assisted migration and external integrated migration. The crisis response migration methods here discussed today will address the movement of instruction online to give room for flexibility of teaching and learning that will be devoid of geographical and time limitations. But the speed in which the online movement of instruction was projected to take place was extraordinary and surprising. This shows that in genuineness, the migration was limited to instructional delivery approaches, methods, and tools. External assisted migration is referred to as a situation where colleges and universities make use of Web 2.0 platforms designed by external corporate bodies or organizations. In external assisted migration, some of these institutions provide data of students and faculty members for easy migration and applications of these platforms such as Microsoft 360, Moodles, etc. External integrated migration, on the other hand, refers to a situation whereby universities integrate Web 2.0 platforms designed by external corporate bodies or organizations into their personal online learning platforms. Such integrated applications are Big Blue Button, Google Classroom, etc. It is also important to note that both external assisted migration and external integrated migration offer the same features for instructional delivery and assessment through video conferencing, submission of assignments, forum discussion, assessment, etc. The crisis response migration process of students and faculty members can also be viewed from the level of their digital competence and availability of information on online learning. Contemporary students and some faculty members are digital natives, since digital natives are the group of people born and raised during digital period, and they are expected to be tech savvy. However, a substantial number of them do not have the skills expected of digital natives, which also prompted researchers to conclude that the effects of new digital technologies to redefine literacy are yet to be fully revealed. In the case of college and university students in developing country, just like every other country, where colleges are yet to attain the full stage of digital transformation of educational activities, it took some students and faculty members more time to migrate into the emergency remote teaching through Web 2.0 platforms made available by their respective institutions. The quick and sudden digital transformation process of universities has huge workload on ICT units of institutions to build e-platforms, integrated existing external applications into their systems, and as well as full migration into external applications. Instructors also share part of the work because they are responsible for transforming their course contents to the e-platform friendly to the learners. This heavy workload is expected to cause unforeseen financial and time cost. Monique Senzi, the Chief Information Officer for the Colorado School of Mines, in interview granted to EdTech magazine, stated that they were on crisis response mode of acquiring new licenses and improvement of current licenses to cater for the tremendous increase in the number of users that will be using e-learning tools of the school simultaneously. Dr. Yates made reference to the complaints of students receiving more emails from the university. Some of these emails contain important messages, while others are irrelevant, and to instructors, these emails are irrelevant to them because those messages are student focused. These loads of email have added to the stress of students and faculty, and this may result in mental health problems. The pandemic is no doubt was a threat to humanity, consisting the state of emergency declared by WHO as a result of the rapid spread and severity of the deadly virus across the globe. Just give me a minute. Yes. Um, I think I'm audible now. Okay. So, integrated migration, on the hand, refers to a situation whereby.
Excuse me, ma'am. Sorry to disturb you, but we are no longer able to see your screen.
Okay, I'll just do that. That is. I'm continuing in the meantime, sharing it again. So integrated migration, on the hand, it refers to a situation whereby universities integrate Web 2.0 platforms designed by external corporate bodies or organizations into their personal online learning platforms. Such integrated applications are Big Blue Button, Google Classroom, etc. So it is also important to note that both external assisted migration and external integrated migration offer the same features for instructional delivery and assessment through video conference, submission of assignments, forum discussions, assessment, etc. The crisis response migration process of students and faculty members can also be viewed from the level of their digital competence and availability of information on online learning. Contemporary students and some faculty members are digital natives since they have been using some sort of technology in their education for quite some time. So this set of people were able to share part of the workload because they were responsible for transforming their course contents to be e-platform friendly for their students. The heavy workload was expected to cause unforeseen financial and time cost. I hope the screen is visible now and in the presentation.
Hello.
Yeah.
Ma'am, sorry to disturb you. We are unable to see your screen.
Oh, the PPT is not visible.
Yeah, it's not visible.
Let me know once.
Yeah, it's visible now.
Okay. How are we doing on time? Like, how much time do I have?
20 more minutes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Okay. So now moving to the implications of online learning. So learners should be told that the explicit outcomes of the learning so that they can set their expectations and they can judge for themselves whether or not they have achieved the outcome of the online session. Learners also must be tested to determine whether or not they have achieved the learning outcome, and online testing is one process in which that can be done. So, online testing or any other forms of testing and assessment should be integrated into the learning sequence to check the learner's achievement level and to provide feedback. So, for learners, online learning have no time, and location and distance are not an issue. In asynchronous online learning, students can access their materials anytime, while synchronous online learning allows for real-time interactions between students and the instructor. Learners use internet to access up-to-date and relevant learning materials and can and excuse me um, and can complete online courses while working on the job or in their own space and can contextualize the learning. For the instructor, tutoring can be done at any time and from anywhere. Online materials can be updated and learners are able to see the changes at once. So, if designed properly, online learning systems can be used to determine learners' needs and current level of expertise and to assign appropriate materials for learners to select from to achieve the desired learning outcomes. There are many like Okay, so these are the resources that are offered for online learning. So these actually depends on the institution where the online program is being taken. Some online learning programs require the students to order physical textbooks in advance by in the mail, but these are generally being phased out in favor of ebooks and online only methods of delivery. For the institutions that have made the transition to using 100% online resources, students can expect to study using a combination of cutting-edge technological resources with no need to travel to attend lectures, exams, or in-person discussion sessions. Taking an online learning program, the students are officially registered at their own institution and have access to the same resources as on-campus students. And with the institution's digital library, learning management system, student union membership, and more, the online degree is similar to taking a degree program on campus. So the course instructor and the institution determine the format for each individual course and select delivery methods that are best suited to the course or the program. So some of the resources that we generally use are ebooks, textbooks, and journals. Recorded lectures. So that is an essential way of absorbing a large amount of information in a relatively short amount of time. Lectures are staple of online and campus-based learning as well. Interactive sessions. So the greatest challenge that online education provider faces is how to replicate the face-to-face interaction and in-person discussions that on-campus institutions can also provide. So the solution is online degree programs often use a combination of discussion forums and interactive question and answer sessions to give the interaction with other students and instructors they need. So there are also applications like discussion boards, breakout rooms, PowerPoint presentations, and live QA sessions. So coming to the virtual classrooms now. So virtual classrooms have been are commonly known as web conferencing or e-conferencing systems. These systems allow real-time communications in which multiple users can simultaneously interact with each other via the internet to conduct meetings and seminars, lead discussions, make presentations and demonstrations, and perform other functions. Virtual classrooms allow students and instructors to communicate using features such as audio, video, text chat, interactive whiteboard, application sharing, instant polling, emoticons, and breakout rooms. Adobe Connect, Blackboard, Collaborate, WebEx, and Saba Centra are synchronous virtual classrooms prevalent in higher education. Illuminate, Live, and Horizon Wimba classrooms are also commonly used in higher education. So the features that are available in these platforms help the instructors in maintaining interaction during a synchronous session. Most virtual classroom technologies have a content frame to share the instructor's files and electronic or interactive whiteboard for instructors and students to write or draw. Breakout rooms for group activities, text chat to interact using words and emoticons, and audio chat to talk via microphone or telephone with the instructor and other students. Instructors can administer student polls, share their desktop, or have the students share their own desktop through application sharing. As online and hybrid course offerings increase, interested in computer-mediated communication tools that facilitate online learning also increases. And there are two kinds of tools generally that are used for virtual classrooms, type 1 and type 2. So type 1 are those tools that simplify and automate previously problematic tasks. And type 2 are those kind of tools that engage students in critical interactions, including learner content interactions, learner faculty interactions, and learner learner interactions. Apart from these, we also use other kinds of tools. So email is one of that. It is a simple electronic text message. But during the pandemic, we have seen how it has been used for so much educational use. Instructors were using emails to provide information about class logistics, answering questions about assignments, send assignments by attachment, respond to requests for grades, and acknowledge any messages received. One other alternative that has been used is listserv. So listserv is an email-based application that is used extensively for collaboration and interaction. And messages posted here are distributed to all members via email. It also serves educational purposes where it makes it convenient to communicate, although it did not completely eliminate face-to-face discussion. It also have a history of use by higher education faculties as collaborative current awareness tool. Discussion boards also is something which is very an integral component of virtual classroom. Discussion boards or forums do serve the same purpose as discussion forums do in a physical setting. So different threads are established by instructor or students, and course management systems archive those threads and track students' use of discussion boards. In many online classes, the discussion board is the primary tool used to facilitate interaction between the teachers and the students. A weblog or blog is an informal, personal, or professional journal published on the web. So it is also typically updated frequently. In online classrooms, each entry contains a title, a short description, the name of the teacher, and the date posted. And it can also have advanced content in the form of text, URLs, pictures and graphics, audio, video, or other files. Okay. So in terms of organizational factors, institutions played a large role in adoption through support and resource availability. The technology resource availability was rated high, and it had been found out that faculty who are committed to acquiring, maintaining, and changing their knowledge as they continue to teach and as new instructional technologies surface. If instructors are aware of the ease in which virtual classrooms can be set up and used, they may be more inclined to use the technology to carry out online instruction more effectively. The availability of technology and expertise also play an important role for faculties adopting virtual classroom technology. However, the virtual classroom is an easy to use tool and requires minimal training for instructors to begin using. With regard to social factors, peer support and the ability to promote a sense of community is important. In contrast to the organizational and social factors, personal factors are also inclined to influence faculty to adopt virtual classrooms. For instance, the desire to enhance student learning, improve one's teaching, acknowledge the value of synchronous interaction, and respond to personal motivation. The personal factors also helps one to improve their teaching and to address all of the issues that the students might have. So these are the different methodologies that we use in online learning. So it has been found out that learning is influenced more by the content and instructional strategy in the learning materials than by the type of technology. So to promote higher order thinking on the web, online learning must also create challenging activities that enable learners to link new information to old, acquire meaningful knowledge, and use their metacognitive abilities. Hence, it is the instructional strategy and not the technology that influences the quality of learning. So online students often think that their learning resources will be delivered via email or even by snail mail. So most online institutions are moving away from these methods and are trying to have their own learning resources and management systems using these kinds of methodologies. So the significant ones are that to bring facilitated dialogue in addition to content delivery, so that it can be a two-way communication between the teacher and the student, and to enhance interaction and to build a sense of community, which is very important in learning, and to present course content virtually to all students. The ongoing and iterative nature of course design comfortably lends itself to a cyclic and developmental approach to research and development as facilitated by active learning methods. To ensure that online units are responsive to learner needs and that staff development benefits are maximized, so a series of action learning cycles were used to capture the essence of teaching and professional development experiences firsthand. Though initially focusing on an action research staff development model for online design, most recently, the focus for action learning has included an investigation of the students' responses to the online learning experience. There is a need to understand the way students are using the online medium and the processes that are enhancing their learning. Bates has stated that it is still open to debate whether the technology will result in truly new paradigms or merely allow valued old paradigms to be used more effectively for learners at a distance. Online class deliver content through various modalities, web pages, tutorials, quizzes, lectures, PowerPoint presentations, and they also offer the opportunity for computer mediated communication, as we have just seen. But all of these are asynchronous in nature and are characterized by lapses in time between the initial posting and the subsequent response. So the use of the capabilities of the learning management system of online class can be used effectively for video conferencing or to provide and make the session interactive, and so that the students will also make an effort to attend due to the value of the input, interaction, and the overall feedback. So now coming to the main component which the instructors think of and gets worried about are the online assessment. So quality online learning provides many opportunities for assessment, not only opportunities that involve the teacher, but also ones that exploit the influence and expertise of peers, others that use simple and complex machine algorithms to assess student production, and perhaps most importantly, those that encourage learners to assess their own learning reflectively. Understanding what is most useful rather than what is most easily assessed is a challenge for the designers of online learning. So the diminution of opportunities for immediate interaction between learners and teachers will also help them create assessment activities that are project and workplace based, that are constructed collaboratively, that benefit from peer review, and that are infused with both the opportunity and the requirement for self-assessment. While discussing the assessment of the quality of online courses, one recurring theme is the loss of the face-to-face relationship between a teacher and the student. Many believe that this lack will impact student learning and student perceptions of learning. Where the face-to-face contact is missing, instructors must find a way to provide the interaction, especially for the students who require motivation from the instructor. So online delivery using instructional notes, audio, video, and discussion can do that. And the instructors may browse through the discussion notes and glean the results of students' understanding, leading to assessment of learning outcomes. So one assessment device designed specifically for distance education is a rubric for assessing interactive qualities of learning, online learning courses. So this helps to assess the level of a course's interactivity by looking at 4 elements: social goals, instructional goals, types and uses of technology, and impact of interactivity changes in learner behavior. So as educational institutions are increasingly held accountable for student learning, assessment represents an important way to respond to such accountability. However, student assessments conducted solely for accountability reasons does not necessarily lead to learning. Educators must establish the purpose of assessment, the criteria being measured, and the intended outcomes before meaningful assessment methods can be achieved. So the main purpose of the assessments are to monitor student learning, improve academic programs, and enhance teaching and learning. So this is, if we see this table, so this table actually kind of lists the instructional strategies that faculty and students of a survey agreed to. So the top 6 identified by the faculty is, as you can see in the left side, the requiring continual, immediate, and detailed feedback, with making online courses at least as rigorous as conventional courses. So 83% people agreed to that. Using email appropriately to aid in the instructional process, using a variety of instructional strategies. But the top 5 identified by the students are the emails. Online courses should be less rigorous than conventional courses, and that the instructor has established a good rapport with the students. So this support the view that people who urge online instructors to become more proficient in group work dynamics and in engaging their students in both synchronous and asynchronous communication. This also shows that increased interaction resulted in increased learning as reflected by the test performance, grades, and student satisfaction. So the strategies for maintaining online instructional quality as perceived by both faculty and student respondents include maintaining open communication with students, ensuring that online courses are rigorous, using a variety of instructional methods, and requiring students to interact with the instructor as well as other students to foster group cohesiveness, which will help them build a strong learning community. So faculty learning online courses and those planning to do should carefully review the literature on learning style preferences and become comfortable with a variety of teaching strategies that are applicable to the courses and to the e-learning platform. So regardless of which assessment technique or method is used, it is important to use a wide variety to provide meaningful and timely feedback. And all the major assignments that we give to the students should be accompanied by the grading rubric, so that the students can also understand how they are evaluated and they can work on those aspects. So as long as students continue to need to balance work, family, and school demands, they will continue to value online learning. And online learning and assessment should be viewed as a system for educating students and evaluating students' academic achievement at the same time. So effective online assessments should also provide feedback because it is a critical component of any learning. It must be meaningful, timely, and should be supported by the rubric. So this can be done through email messages, chat room conversations, and discussion board postings as well. So now, so coming to the very last points are, one is the tackling problem. So there are a kind of misconceptions that there are some problems with online learning. So first of all, online learning doesn't mean easier learning. And online institutions should adhere to the same standards of excellence as brick and mortar institutions. As online learning technology has developed, virtual institutions have perfected digital processes to prevent cheating and or plagiarism. So course instructors and online institutions work hard to ensure that teaching is almost impossible in an online course. And now we use advanced plagiarism detection softwares, and from examination to assignments, everything is scrutinized electronically using this software. Also, another important aspect that determines the quality is the level of support. So many students worry that online institutions will not be able to provide them the support they need. So this is also recognized, and the potential students who need support, there are dedicated student support teams in all of these institutions, where the sole responsibility is to provide pastoral care and support to students. So student support teams are trained in providing advice on issues from financial troubles to family commitments, and can range from minor technology troubleshooting to major life events like a bereavement. So this is not the only support one receive on an online course. The fellow students are also a great source of help and advice in the online setting as well. And so Metal is one of the software we have been using for online invigilations, in which the students were required to keep their videos on during the whole writing, like the 2 hours or the 3 hours of examination time. And the instructors can click on each of the individual students and see what is in their room, if any sound is coming. So all of these softwares are there to tackle the problems that one might think should arrive from online education. And coming to the last slide, which is the opportunities in online learning. So many online institutions are now accredited institutes of higher learning, and they clearly state the type of qualification you will gain from pursuing an online program. And it ranges from bachelor's to master degrees, graduate certificates, and everything in between. So students who are researching online institutions are encouraged to research their accreditation, the type of qualification, and the nature of the online institution. So the rules of accreditation and the types of qualification also depends on the country where the online institution is based in, whether the institution is public or private, the institution's title, and the type of program that is being offered. So students use online learning to studying entire degree programs, get particular certifications to take the next step in their careers. So no matter why you are looking to learn online, ensure that students should have a full understanding of the type of institution and how the qualifications that are offered will be recognized in outside in the job market or in the other countries as well. So an in-depth understanding of how the qualifications earned are recognized will also help the students and the teachers to plan how they should be conducting the online learning experience. And many employers nowadays make no differentiation between online degrees and degrees earned on campus, as long as the qualification is recognized in the field. So for some employers, even gaining the qualifications online will provide them like they think that the candidates have a unique skill set which help them stand out from the crowds of other applicants. Thank you. So that's the end of the presentation. Now, if any comments, any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your wonderful presentation. Thankfulness is the beginning of gratitude, and gratitude is the completion of thankfulness. Thankfulness may consist merely of words, but gratitude is shown in acts. So I, Batool Fatima, convener and organizer of 1 week faculty development program, on behalf of Department of English, BIET, express my gratitude to our chairman, sir, Shri C.H. Venugopal Reddy Garu, for his encouragement and motivation to conduct this program. I express my sincere gratitude to our principal, Mr. K. Venugopal, sir, academic in charge, Mrs. Sudharani, for attending the session in spite of their multifarious activities. I thank the coordinator and team members of our department, Mrs. Zahra Tahir, Mrs. Arpita Baghi, Ms. Pooja Nair, Mrs. Nahid Akhtar, Ms. Saida Hafiz, for their cooperation in organizing this event. Last but not the least, I thank all the participants for attending this FDP session. Thank you. See you tomorrow at the same time. I request all the participants to fill the feedback link so as to make the necessary corrections, whatever the loopholes we had in our today's session. Thank you. Hello. I request the participants, if you have any queries, please either type in the chat box or you can raise your hand. I request the participants of both YouTube live streaming as well as the participants who are in Zoom session to raise the queries if you have.
Jaya ma'am, there is a question from our audience from Ms. Himal Pandey. How to overburden and effectively form online curriculum? Could you please answer that question? How to overburden and effectively form online curriculum?
Yes. Thank you for the question, Kemal. The main thing that we should go to is that not to overburden and effectively form. That can be done with a proper rubric. So once before starting any course, there should be a proper course objective, like how many classes are we getting, whether it's physical or online. And so when we properly divide like the number of classes, keeping in consideration that some of those classes has to be given for doubt clearing and for conducting assignments. So leaving that the number of classes that we are getting, so we should only include that much in the syllabus and not like look at entire books where we know that we will not be able to cover those things. So if as teachers we are not able to cover everything while teaching, we cannot expect the students to learn everything for their exams. So that is first thing, that how much syllabus are we covering, and that much only we should keep for exams. And the second thing is effectively forming online curriculum is one thing that has to be taken in mind is that assignments and interactions. So like a good number of, like if I'm thinking about like a semester of about 2 months, like half semesters, so even in a semester for 2 months, about 10 days has to be kept for assignments and interactive sessions. So in that way, the student and the teacher can be on the same page about how much they have taught and how much the students have learned. So that will help them to understand how to go on from there on.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. I don't think we have any other questions. Yeah, we do not have any other questions. I would like to request the participants again, if you have any questions, please message in the chat box. We would love to answer your questions. Okay, so that brings us towards an end of our session. There are no more questions. I believe all the participants have received the feedback link. I would like to request all the participants to kindly fill the feedback link and let us know how you like the program. Thank you so much, Jaya ma'am. Thank you for your time, and thank you to all the participants for being with us. This is Pooja Nair. We are bringing an end to this session. Thank you so much.